idea how bipolar my boss is. He called me and asked me if I'm going to come to work today. You can't go work today.
Like I quit. He should just be
Are you
like,
forgetting what happened yesterday?
he should just be like, I'll be there tomorrow.
I did.
Yeah, like, yeah, screw it. All right, well, I believe we are good now. I think. Let me see. Yeah, because they didn't want it this way. They want it this way.
Oh, so, okay.
Oh, oh. No. Okay. Oh, we are. All right.
No, but so I'm in the screen, motherfucker. It's okay. Can we scream? Can we swear on this
I guess
platform?
I believe you're supposed to wait for like 30 seconds. So,
And listen, I'm telling you right now, your neighbors have got to be, look, you got a comedian that lives downstairs, so, you know what I mean? You can't be down here walking on eggshells because of it. Yeah, comedian.
first of all, we're in the hood. We're good.
All right, then. Sure.
What's good with your boy, Benny Blades, future mayor of Woonsocket, Rhode Island. And I am here with one of the most legendary in his own head comedian, one of the most legendary comedians of Rhode Island history.
Yes, I said I gotta come back at you. He's gonna be a future mayor in his own head. So let's get started, Benny. What's good with you, buddy?
I can't call it. Running for mayor in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. A beautiful, beautiful city. For me too, Poupon. But besides that, no, I'm just kidding. No, running for mayor in the city that I live in. And, just trying to do my thing, get the word out there, and get some votes and make things happen.
All right, now, is this like you running, is it like a sort of a, to make a point kind of a thing? Or do you expect to win this thing?
I expect to win, Marvin. I am the best choice I'm the best choice. I laid out my economic plan this morning, and some people liked it,
Hey, we're live, right?
We are live, yes.
Okay, somebody told me to check your temperature. Make sure you're all right. He's good.
Yeah, no, we're live, and I am not right now. No, but no, I laid out my economic plan this morning, and it is my plan to make the city better for everyone out here, including you. To be honest, I'm including you in that.
I would hope so. Shit. I live in this.
What do you think, Woonsocket? What do you think of Woonsocket?
Well, here we go. I've been in Woonsocket almost 10 years.
Damn! 10 years?
Yeah.
Sheesh!
Okay.
Okay.
Moved here when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Woonsocket is a beautiful city.
Beautiful. Beautiful. What do you think of the smell?
That is something that needs to be dealt with.
I
think that in order for Woonsocket to move up in status and become a first-class city, it cannot smell. It cannot have a horrible
What does
smell.
it smell like right now, would you say?
Let me see. What's the? I'm trying to, because we're live, and I know you probably have, classy people watching. So I'm trying to figure out the classiest,
the best people in the world
way
watch my
to
show.
answer. It smells like shit.
Go, Malo. Yes, Woonsocket does
you
have
can't
an odor.
expect the city to move into world-class status if it smells like shit. I'm sorry. You can put Walt Disney World here. It's not gonna matter.
It does. It has an odor. Very, very, very distinct.
From what I understand, it's not the city's fault. I guess we have that signs or something with the water. They're not running the plant the way it's it's supposed to, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And the city's been fighting with them, actually hitting them with fines on a daily basis to get them to change and things like that. But
Well, the top of it looks like so.
I haven't seen the top of it. But you know, one thing that.
But that's what I'm going
This
to
all
change.
ties together. Since you're running for mayor, you're going to be in politics. Let me explain something to you.
What do you got?
One thing that I always feels that goes over people's heads. So you have all these companies that sometimes commit heinous crimes against the community. You know, they might pollute the river or something like that, or they might knowingly market drugs that they. The penalties for them doing that and knowing that they did that is always less than what they need.
Oh, of course.
So
That's like drug companies.
right, yeah.
They know what they're making.
If
is
I can make
addictive.
$100 billion off a drug that I know is not going to work, who cares if I get fined $10 billion?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, fine me $10 billion. I'm still $90 billion ahead of the game.
Like when Pfizer first came out, everything they put out, they said was not addictive.
Right.
Oxys, and no, well, no, you good. And then when it got proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was, fine. It's like, fine.
Yeah, because it's a stall tactic. Guys, we haven't made enough money yet for this shit to hit the fan. Let's stall them. All right, we made enough. Who gets it? Yeah, this shit don't work. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a or whatever. They made enough money.
Yep.
Nobody ever goes to jail. You know what I mean?
Because at the end of the day, it's all about money.
Yeah. See, I think that these executives and stuff, I think that there should be a committee that once they found that these guys have committed heinous crimes against humanities, somebody need to beat their ass. You know what I mean? They should get an ass whipping for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, we got some people too.
Oh, we got people watching?
Yeah, we got some people watching. Hello. Only two, but that's all right. I just started doing this again, so welcome. Let's get some likes, get some shares over here. Sorry.
You want people to like it? You want people to share it? Chill out, bro. All right, so what do you want to know about the monster, dog?
Oh, yes. So, I would like to know how you, the first time, well, right, no. I always like to start off, where did you grow up? But I know the answer to some of these, but for the people that are watching, where did you grow up at?
I was born and started growing up in Savannah, Georgia.
Well, all right.
I left there at 15 and moved to Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay.
So I moved to Boston at 15.
So down south, where people are known, not in Florida, but where you were at, people are known for their southern hospitality. You go from southern hospitality to what people say are the rudest people in America, which is us New Englanders.
You know, it's funny that you say that because one of the weirdest experiences, one of the things weirdest thing that I had to get used to was people bumping into you, not even saying, excuse me. I just feel like, what in the hell? What? I can't believe it. Like, that would never happen down south.
Yeah.
People are going to bump into you, just keep walking. They're going to be like, oh, sorry. Probably give you a hug, pat on the back.
And we're so, me especially, impatient, like, and down when I was in Florida, like, they'd be in the med line at CVS, and they'd just be like, I'm like, go! Oh my God. So that must have been, like, crazy for you, too, because they're, like, were they slower down in Georgia, too, than they are?
Well, I would say it ain't, and I won't say it's slower, but people down south just ain't on that rush bullshit that everybody up here is on. Everybody's in a rush to go nowhere up here.
Well,
I mean,
we're in a rush to make money.
yeah, rush to make money.
Now, all right. So you come up here,
Mm-hmm.
15. You said to
Yeah.
Boston. So now, who was the first comedian that made you stop everything and go, that's what I want to do?
Richard Pryor.
All right, that's okay. That's an easy one. Nah, Richard Pryor is the
Richard Pryor.
one of the best ever, for sure.
Yeah.
So now, when did you first attempt stand-up comedy? When was the first time you got on stage?
Well, you know, that's kind of and it's weird because the first time I actually started performing comedy was in first grade at Blessed Sacrament School in Savannah, Georgia.
Really?
And I'll tell you why. Because the first time I actually did stand-up, it was at the Quincy Hall Marketplace in Boston, Faneuil Hall.
Nice.
And one day I was there, and I posted a picture of the building because the Comedy Connection used to be inside that building. So I posted a picture of the building, and I said, the first time I did comedy, I was in this building right here. And then one of my schoolmates from Blessed Sacrament said, correction, the first time you did comedy was in this building right here. And they posted a picture of my school, my elementary school. And I said, I stand corrected, because that truly is when I developed that I had the ability to make people laugh.
You were basically like a class clown.
Yeah, I was a class clown.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Let's see. But when was your first like act? Besides that, okay. What was your? You went on stage in Boston, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What are some of the clubs? Because I know Boston can be brutal.
I'll even back up a little bit more to get how to I wind up even actually getting on stage. So when I got out of high school, I worked at the Boston Garden for a promoter named Don Law. He brought groups like Jay Giles Band, Van Halen, Black Sabbath, all the legendary rock groups of the 80s. He brought them there. He even brought Diana Ross to the Boston Garden.
Diana.
Yeah, he brought Diana. And
You find out.
that was when I decided I wanted to be a promoter.
Ah.
And so around 23, 24, I started promoting concerts in Boston. And one thing that always bothered me, and I did not know why. See, when I started an event, I would sit down at a table with a blank piece of paper. I said, okay, what do I want to do? Oh, okay, let me do a hot legs competition. I'm gonna give away $500. Gonna do this. Gonna do this. Gonna be at this club. Gonna have these DJs, this DJ, that DJ. We're gonna call this. Put the whole event together. Then the day of the event, if I have a singer or a DJ. Now, when I promoted in Boston, I didn't touch a club unless it could hold 800, 1,000 people. Those were the type of numbers that I was doing. So I would do an event. I got 800,000 people there. And it always made me feel weird not being the one in the spotlight. Because if I got DJs up there, the DJs are on stage, everybody's looking at them. Everybody's focusing on them. If I got a singer, I'd hand them the mic, they go on stage, everybody's focusing on them. And I could not understand why it made me feel empty inside. And, you know, that was when the desire to be on stage, to do comedy, because I always did comedy, I always made people laugh, but there was something festering inside me telling me it's time for you to take it to the next level. And so I brought Kid Capri to Boston.
Kid Capri!
DJ Kid Capri.
Yeah,
And he says, so when you going to come to New York for a live taping? I said, I'll come. I'll come to New York for a live taping.
I like how
Boom.
you said that all nonchalantly. Kid, the world famous
Yeah,
Kid Capri.
Capri.
Guy who was in Juice? He was in Juice.
No,
Kid
he
Capri?
was in Juice.
No, the movie Juice. He was in it, right?
Juice, Kid Capri? I don't think he was in
I
Juice.
think so. I believe so. They had with the DJ battle.
Oh, that's right. Bro.
Yep.
Yeah, Juice came out, what, 50 years ago? But anyway,
Classic.
so he told me he wanted me to come to New York for a taping.
Mm-hmm.
I promised him I'd go. I brought him to Boston again, but I never went to New York for a taping. So he says to me again, when are you going to come to New York for a taping? I said, I'm going to come. He said, no. You said that the last time. And I'm telling you.
He called you out.
He called me out, and he would not take no for an answer. He insisted that I come to the next taping. So me and a couple of my friends went down, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, when they taped the Def Comedy Jam.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. He wanted. What?
Yeah, it was a Def
He
Comedy.
What are you doing? You didn't go?
I didn't go the first time he asked.
Def Comp? What, man?
Yeah.
You went the second?
I went the second
Okay.
time.
Let's get right into
So when they do the Def Comedy
I
Jam.
didn't even know what you're talking about. With I'm thinking, what's he talking about? All right, go ahead.
So what they would do-
Def Comedy Jam. For anyone that doesn't know, it's the most
Kid Capri was the
legendary-
DJ for the Def Comedy Jam.
most legendary, one of the most legendary comedy shows put together of all time.
Right.
Go ahead. So you go out. Wow.
So we go down to New York, and
Who's we?
me and a couple of my buddies.
All right.
And what they would do is they would shoot 8-9 shows a day.
For real?
Yeah.
Of the Def Comedy Jam?
Yeah, they do the whole season in like a week and a half.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they shoot like 8-9 shows a day. So they'll fly in hundreds of comedians. For everybody, the whole season, when they shoot, I don't know if they did it, but the year that I went, every comedian that was on the Def Comedy Jam, they were all in New York at the same time. They did the whole season.
Like Martin Lawrence and Chris Tucker thing?
Yeah, like dude, Dave Chappelle was on the Def Comedy Jam when I went there.
What?
So what happened?
Chappelle was there?
Yeah, Chappelle was there.
Dang!
So they had this hotel, and all the comedians were staying at the hotel. So we go over to the hotel after the
You guys
taping.
just torturing each other all night?
No,
making
listen,
fun of
right? So there's the hotel had this huge lobby, and all the comedians are down in the lobby. Everybody's talking and interacting with each other. And someone came to me, so how long you been doing comedy? And I said, I'm not a comedian. Another person came over to me, how long you been doing comedy? I said, I'm not a comedian. And then I swear, something inside me grabbed me and said, what are you doing?
Yeah, why?
Stop telling people. And that's when I decided, if they think I'm a comedian, then I must, then that to me,
Why were you saying what though?
I never did comedy yet.
Oh, you were just a promoter?
I was just a promoter.
Ah.
I was a promoter for 10 years before I decided to do comedy. And then when Kid Capri insisted that I come to a taping of the Def Comedy Jam, I was hooked. I came back from New York with a hook in my mouth. So what
Like
I
a
did,
fish?
like a fish.
Like a fish.
So what I did, I went and I got a few books about comedy. I went and got the How to Do Stand-Up Comedy by Richard Belzer, The Bells. And I studied comedy. I wrote jokes for 4 months before I even attempted to get on stage.
I guess you're not a natural like me. It's like no, my ex there got me a book. Honestly, I haven't read it, but it's Larry David. Larry David's book.
Did you take John Parada's comedy course?
Yeah.
2 times?
Five.
Okay, all right.
Apparently, I didn't take any notes.
Sounds real natural.
No, I took it once.
Yeah.
I took it once.
But you know, and just the fact that all these comedians were asking me how long have I been doing comedy.
Yep. Keep talking.
I was just like, hey, that's it. I got to do it. It's time to do it. And I'll say this for anybody who's thinking about doing comedy, you know what I mean? Because guess what? Everybody who's somebody was inspired by somebody. So you can't expect to be anybody if you don't inspire anybody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I always like to inspire people who are thinking about doing comedy to take that step and get into it and do it. You know what I mean? And if, like I said, everybody who is great has a mentor, has somebody that motivated them. You know what I mean? And so you have to be a part of, if you're part of the climb, you have to be a part of the drag too, I feel. Because I think a lot of artists climb the ladder really well because they're dragging so many other people behind them. And that's what I think propels them up that ladder.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But let's talk about my first show.
Let's go. Let's talk about it.
So, because I had spent the whole summer, 4 months studying, right, I had books and books of material. So when I said, all right, it's time to get on stage, I started going to places. I was like, yeah, come by. We'll give you a minute. We'll give you 2 minutes. Nobody was willing to give me more than 2 minutes. And I was like, you know, somehow it just didn't feel right. I was like, I think, gotta keep in mind, I was not just a promoter in Boston, one of the top promoters in Boston when it comes to hip hop, R&B, and reggae. Marvin Wells Production was the name of my company. So Marvin Wells was constantly on thousands of flyers, billboards, radio. Everyone in Boston knew my name. So I just felt like I can't come out and do 2 minutes at an open mic. You know what I mean? So you know what I did? I booked the Comedy Connection and I put a flyer together and I promoted the first time I did comedy. And I can say I did. I don't think there's anyone that can say they did what I did. Now, I'm not bragging about it, but I'm just saying.
Sounds like you're bragging.
Yeah, well, I am bragging a little bit.
Okay.
But the first time I was on stage, it was at the Comedy Connection, Faneuil Hall, Boston, and I was on stage for 45 minutes. The first time I touched the mic. Got a standing ovation and signed 3 autographs when I got off stage.
Nice.
And if those people that I signed those 3 autographs for, God knows how long ago, if they saw me today, they'd be like, oh, what happened to him? But, you know, the thing I love and respect about comedy, you name it, I've tried it. It's the hardest thing I've ever tried. There's absolutely nothing easy about comedy. Nothing. You cannot expect to make it big in this industry without putting your work in. Even if you go and let somebody, the right person, tag you in the butt, you still got to have the material when you get on stage. You know what I mean? There's a lot of work. Doing comedy made me really take off my hat and respect anyone that does it, because anyone that does it well makes it look easier than it actually is. There's nothing easy about it at all.
Yeah, no, I believe getting out there and trying anything like that is, it takes balls, you know?
Yeah.
And I respect anyone that gets out there and tries, you know, anything like that.
What if anybody got any questions or anything like that? Should we see this question? What somebody want to know? Is he single? Anything like that?
No. No.
Okay, all right, okay.
No, there's no questions. But I can ask questions to you. Let's see. So what else? So what do you have going on nowadays?
Well, you know, the thing about comedy is a roller coaster ride because comedy is one of those things that you have to wear comedy like a backpack. Meaning, you don't get to put it down when it gets heavy. You don't get to put it down when you got a far distance to go. Comedy is something that if you want to be successful in it, it's got to be like a backpack attached to you, and everything that you go through in life, you got to take that comedy backpack with you. And you got to be willing to go through life and like as a comedian, you driving down the street in your brand new car, and a tree comes down and smash the hood, and your car is totaled. You got to look for the comedy in that. You can't sit there and cry about it. You got to sit there. All right, okay, I just bought a brand new car. A tree just fucking fell on it. I got to make a joke about it. You don't cry about it. You got to make a joke about it. Because think about it. It is what everyone expects a comedian to do. And what I mean by that is, you could talk to any of your friends, and you could tell them about, man, listen, I went home, there's this chick lying in my bed that I never met. The front door was kicked down, all the windows was busted out, there was writing all on the wall. You know what everybody gonna tell you? Hey, you got to do a joke about that.
Yeah.
You got to do a joke. What? You came home? What? Oh, you got to do a joke about that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like whatever you go through, you should just, you know.
So comedy has to
take it with
be
a grain
that
of
thing
salt.
that you never put down. And you know what? It's hard. It's hard not to put it down. And I've had to put it down and walk away from it for a little bit, focus on some other things in life because, again, you have to be extremely talented and focused to navigate life and never put that comedy backpack down. You know what I mean? And that's why sometimes, you know, a lot of guys, they'll get a special or whatever, and people will be like, oh, what does he have for special? I'm funnier than him. Sometimes it's not all about how funny you are, it's about the work that you put in. You know what I mean? Because you put the work in, and you deserve to be there. You know, they say you don't have to get ready if you're already ready. So there's nothing like getting an opportunity and not being ready for it. Like if Jimmy Kimmel called you right now and said, Benny Blades, I need you to come here and do 45 minutes next Thursday night. You ready to go do that? Yeah. Okay, so check his temperature again. No, but you know what I mean. So you if you feel like you could go and do it, you know what I mean? That's being ready.
Yeah, you always have to be ready.
You don't ever want to say to Jimmy, "Oh, Jimmy, 45 minutes? I can't. I don't have 45 minutes. I can't do that." You know what I mean? Because you'll never get that call again. Never. So it's difficult to go through life and because to get good at comedy, it's got to be attached to you. You got to wake up thinking about it. Go through your whole day thinking about it. Go to sleep thinking about it. That's what it takes.
Yeah, you're right.
That is what it takes.
You're right. It definitely does. It definitely does. You have to roll with the punches and just try to find the humor in everything you can, because at the end of the day, tomorrow is not promised. You know,
No,
it
is not
you
promised.
only get one life, and you do the best you can. And
So what brought you to the comedy arena? What made you want to do comedy?
what made me want to do it? Just want to make people laugh. To be honest with you, just want to make people laugh. Cause that, you know, I feel like I've been doing that forever, and I don't know. I don't think anyone told me to do it. I just said I want to try it. You know, because I love being creative. I love you know, writing and performing.
Yeah.
When it comes to rapping or comedy, just, you know, I feel like I'm a natural at it.
Well, here's one of the things that I want to kind of install in you. Because I don't know if you've seen it, but you're smart there. So comedy is like it truly is like medicine in a bottle. Okay? As with everything, I mean, you could have the best medicine in the world, can cure a cold in 1 hour. But it's got to have a certain taste, it's got to have a certain smell, or it's going to be a hard sell. So, one of the key things in making it a comedy, you have to understand how people want their medicine. You have to give them a flavored medicine. It can't be a bland taste. You know what I mean? It's almost like you have to spoon feed them. So the more you know about people and how to interact with them, the easier you can administer your medicine. You feel me?
Absolutely.
Because one of the things that I say is I never would have done comedy at all if it weren't for years and years of people telling me, Marvin, you're fucking funny as shit. Marvin, you're fucking crazy. Marvin, you're funny. Marvin, that's what drove me to do comedy. And then I think one thing that all comedians battle with is, am I really funny? You know what I mean? Like sometimes it goes up and down. Sometimes I feel like, oh man, I'm funny. Then there are days I feel like I'm not funny at all. And whenever I'm down here and I feel like I'm not funny, I always run into somebody. They remind me that I'm a comedian, and they remind me that I'm funny. You know what I mean? So it's the people. We give them what they need. They give us what we need. You know what I mean? It's like, we get to groom each other.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely love it. I'm definitely a human being. At the end of the day, I make mistakes in life, and I'm doing the best I can.
So, what do you think about? We chat about this a little bit. So, what's the guy's name that made the comment about Puerto Rico with
Tony Hinchcliffe?
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yep.
Okay. So, what do you think about his comment about Puerto Rico?
I think that he was trying to be funny, and if you watch his show, he makes fun of everyone, and he gets made fun of nonstop too. That's just the nature of the beast with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't. Things can be taken out of context. If someone took like a 10-second clip of maybe what we're talking about, they could frame it a certain way. So that can happen to anyone. I truly don't think for a second that dude's racist, because if you watch his show, he has friends of all colors, and he makes comedians famous and takes them on the road with them, and they're black, they're Asian, they're Puerto Rican, they're gay, they're straight, everything, But if you take like a little clip out of what he said, then it can look that way. But if you actually sit there and watch his show, you'll see that he's a savage.
Mm-hmm.
And he really didn't mean it like that. But yeah, it came across bad, really bad, because I don't think we should talk about politics just because that divides people real quick. But the reality is, sorry to cut you off. The reality is, anyone that you can take 10 seconds of a clip out of anyone talking during the day, and there's something you can get. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to watch every single word that you say.
See, what one of the issues is right now, you've got a closely contested election going on, and each side is looking for an advantage. And literally, I would say the next day, there were people saying, "Yeah, listen, Donald Trump, I'm Puerto Rican." I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Donald Trump didn't say it. You know what I mean? But the opposition is immediately ready to jump on it and point the finger. Look what Trump said. You know what I mean?
No, he backed away from it.
So I think,
as soon as it happened,
I think everybody has to have an open mind about how the information is being given to them. Because I watch World Channel all the time, and it's a perfect example. There's this kid, he's about 12 years old, and he goes, "We're the next generation. Next is going to be our world." And at first it sounds like, "Get out the way, you old motherfuckers. You know what I mean? It's time for us." And it just stopped right there, the promo in the promo. But if you see the whole program, he says next is going to be our world, and we have to take care of it and make sure it's right for the next generation. But it didn't seem like that was the angle he was going when he said, "We're the next generation. Next is going to be our world." It sounded more like a "get out the way, you old farts" type of thing. But it was more like, no, no, no. We got to make sure this planet is right for the generation behind us. And that's a perfect example how if you don't get the whole story, if you get the story in fragments, you can make it sound and look like almost anything. But my thing is with that is because I put myself in that position. And if someone called me to speak at an event, I would say I'm there representing myself, comedy, and all other comedians. So me personally, I would not want to do anything to make anybody say, "I told you shouldn't have put a comedian up there."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you don't want to make it harder for a comedian to get that job the next time. Like if you do the VMA Awards, the Grammys, or whatever, a comedian should not go out there. Yeah, you want to be shocking and you want to make headlines and stuff, but you shouldn't do it in a way to make people say, it was a bad idea to put a comedian out there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I think that hurts the industry. Perfect example, okay? Why are so many women interviewing football players on the sideline? Because the first one that did it was so damn awesome at it that she was undeniable. It was like, wow, you see the way she interviewed that guy? Yeah. Next thing you know, that's all that can interview players on the sideline is women. Because they all are phenomenal at it. So the first one, everything was riding on her shoulders. The first couple of handful that go in through there, they allow one to film, interview the players. The future of it is riding on their shoulders. And because they came in there and they were phenomenal, that's all you see on the sideline interviewing players now is women. That's all you see.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing.
They're also nice to look at.
No, I mean, a lot of them are beautiful, but they're very good at their job.
Yeah, they know their stuff.
I mean, I gotta tell you, when it comes to sports, people are fanatic about their sports. And nobody would want a good-looking bimbo talking to Tom Brady, asking him stupid questions. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the fact that these women are good. They're asking good questions and questions with substance and stuff like that. Yeah, they're some of them are nice to look at and stuff like that too. But you know what I mean? I think the most important thing is they're excellent at their job.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they gotta be excellent at their job because they're women in a field where it's mostly men watching the games, and there are women that like football too, but it's mostly men, and they're probably analyzing everything, every single word that the woman's.
I'll give you an example of what I'm saying. So my friend Annie Powell, aka Annie Banani, how you doing, Annie baby? Mwah, love you. Know you're out there somewhere, but her father passed away a few years ago, God rest his soul. And she calls me up and she said, "Martin, you want to do a comedy show at Dad's funeral?" And I'm like, "What?" She says, "I want to do a comedy show at my dad's funeral, and I want you on it." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Okay." She said, "My dad loved comedy, and it's what he would want it." Okay, so we go forward with it. Day of the funeral, I meet her at the church and everything, and she says, "My entire family's mad at me." I'm like, "Why?" "Because I'm doing this comedy show, and they don't think it's a good idea. They think it's disrespectful." But I told him, it's what he would have wanted. It's what he would have wanted. So I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. So now, imagine how that made me feel. I'm the comedian. I was the only comedian. and everybody's mad at her for putting together a comedy show at her dad's funeral. So I'm like, holy crap. So I just went up there, did my thing, and I'm not tooting my horn or anything. They were falling out of their chairs, and they told her at the end of the event, they told her it was a great idea to do the fact that the whole family was together and laughing at such a treacherous event. Like when they saw everyone laughing, that was when they realized, all right, okay. Because at the end of the day, what is the telltale sign that everything is okay? Laughter.
Yeah, laughter is
Okay.
very, very important.
If you got kids upstairs playing, you hear an explosion, boom! First thing you're gonna say, oh my God, the kids upstairs. As you're running up the stairs, if you hear the kids laughing, you're gonna be like, oh, it must not be that bad. They are up there laughing. You know what I mean? So, laughter.
Laughter. Yeah, laughter is good for the soul. It's good for everything and everyone.
Yeah.
Laughter is what it's all about. So, anyways, who's your favorite comedian?
My favorite comedian is Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor. Okay. And you think he's the greatest of all time?
Well, that's in my opinion. See, there are a lot of people I like. Like, I love George Carlin. You know what I mean? And yeah, in my opinion, Richard is because he's such a natural. He's such a natural. Like, just natural with it. You could tell, you could sit down and talk to Richard Pryor, just have a conversation with him. He's gonna make you laugh. Sitting there talking with him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Richard Pryor is definitely one of the greatest of all time. I mean, he's not as good as me, but
Well, I mean, if he didn't die when he did, and he was able to live for another 20 years, he could get to where you are right now. But
oh man. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to say to the people?
Listen, man. Support comedy. Support comedy shows because it takes a lot to get this thing going. You know what I mean? And when people go out to a comedy show, I see a lot of people at comedy shows, and they say, oh, it's my first time ever being at a comedy show. And at the end of the night, they're raving about it. And I can tell that they said to themselves, what did it take me so long to get to a comedy show? You know what I mean? We got a couple of open mics we're working on. You know what I mean? Woonsocket, Providence. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yep. So everyone, thank you, everyone that watched. I truly appreciate it. This is my friend Marvin Wells. Make sure you follow him everywhere.
Marvin Wells, Marvy Marv Comedy. Okay.
All right. All right. We'll sign it off. I'll see you next time.
We got it here.